very stringent laws on noise, especially with dogs. It's up to the counties and the cities to support them. They're civil, but they have extremely strict laws on noise and dog ordinances. Right now, I left the university to go do research projects. I'm writing grants and research books. I live on 940 Highland. Even as I was redoing this, and I left a copy with the city attorney, I have to wear sound protectors to work. I have one dog across the street that's about 130 yards away. For me, that's a 9-iron. And I've got another one that's right behind me. It's more like an 8-iron. I simply have to wear sound protectors to work. There are many days start in the morning, bark all day long into the night. On weekends, they pretty well bark incessantly. I've asked both people if they could take some measure to quiet the dog down, and one won't even respond, and the other says nothing that I can do. When we attempt to watch television on most nights, we can still hear the dogs barking. So it is a nuisance. And I know in Oregon they very clearly define in that what is a nuisance, how far and how long. In most, and I've written that in the information I gave your attorney. I'm obviously not an attorney and wouldn't even attempt to draw up a law. But I cannot believe I'm the only one in Magnolia. As I walk my dog, who we keep very quiet, it is incessant in this town. And I drive in this town, I work in this town, I'm around this town, and you have a real noise problem. And I pity the shut-in that can't do anything about it. I also do sound training for athletes. I'll turn that sound on and still hear the dogs. I really can't hardly do the sound training. It's too interrupting. So I would ask that the council please consider some kind of stringent noise ordinance that could be enforced, that it not be civil, because that puts the burden of proof, and it should not go on the individuals. You can get some real neighborhood wars going. If I have to complain about somebody's dog and try to enforce it, of course in Oregon they carry a lot of guns and people end up getting shot at. It can turn pretty violent over what should be a small issue, but it's not. In most places in Oregon, the first offense is a warning, second offense is a fine. Magnolia, one of the counties where I was, it was $300. Then the third offense, you have to remove the animal, or they will remove it for you. So it's very clear. It's enforced by the police. It's a very clear ordinance, and it exists pretty much statewide, and then they leave it up to the counties and the cities. So I gave the information to your city attorney. I'm sure he would go, good Lord, this guy's not an attorney, you ought to leave that work to me. But that, I just ask that the council please consider that.
And I smiled when you said you can't be the only one, Mr. Blunt.
You are not.
You are not.
Well, I'll be quiet. I think the thing that bothers me the worst is the total disregard for the people that I am working out of I have an office in my home, and because of your dog, I do research, I do training, and it's simply impossible to focus without hearing aids or some kind of law. And it's like, well, there's just nothing I can do about it. And the one guy said, and guess what? There's nothing you can do about it.
What do you live, sir?
940 Highland Circle. You'd think it'd be a very quiet street, but it's not. It's the old Sonder Burke house, but
we're just trying to figure where your council members are at. One of them's out tonight with his daughter at the Mayo Clinic, but you're not the only one.
Probably he's not here because he was traumatized by the dog.
No, he goes out with me.
I would like to get a copy of what he has, if we could maybe all look at that and see.
Sure.
And that's the ordinance from.
Well, and your city attorney tell you, if you make it civil, it just puts too much burden on the individual. Most cities that have made it civil, you have to get 3 people to agree with you. It has to be in writing. You have to have told the person first. Then it gets a little complicated into the enforcement. And civil, again, I'm no attorney, but civil is primarily the like to spit on the sidewalk as I was walking down to visit with him, because
We've had
that's,
that conversation.
yeah, that's in there. That's, so I won't spit on the sidewalk. But yeah, it needs to be enforceable, it needs to have a fine, it needs to be very clear, what it is, how long it lasts, and I hope that the city attorney clarifies that a little bit in the previous document, so.
What I will tell you, Mr. Robertson, is I do a lot of people, squeaky wheel gets the grease. Don't assume that you leave here and this is handled. You keep it in front of us, you keep it in front of me, you keep it in front of City Hall. I'll keep it in front of the council. I'll let them take action, because it will be an action from the council.
Oh, okay.
So we'll work together with city attorney.
Yeah, I'll be glad to share with you the initial, I think Mr. Cliff Robertson had pulled together, some ordinances that he'd seen before. He and I visited about that, and I basically told him about my concerns with that, being able to enforce it. It's kind of hard to, measure, whether it's unreasonable period of time, and so he went back and took another stab at it and put some more notes down here in the second document that I got today before the meeting started. And so I think between those two, there's probably a good way to draft it as tightly as you can. It won't be perfect, but neither is our noise ordinance that we have right now. As I explained to Professor Robertson,